Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christie, and if you're new here, thank you and welcome to my channel. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. Please subscribe if you haven't already done that. Okay, today's video, it's a little like about me video stroke story time video about my NYSC and how I met my husband. So there's like 3 videos in one, kind of. First, about me. I actually haven't formally introduced myself on YouTube. I just want to use the opportunity to do that now. My name is Christie, and my name is Christie Simakome. Isimakome is an Edo name. My friends call me Isi or Isydulce. Isydulce is like my brand stroke business name. It actually came off from my baking and cake business. When I was thinking of a name for my business, I wanted something sweet attached to it, and I went for dulce is sweet in Latin. It's the Latin word for sweet, so easy sweet basically. Yeah, that's my name. I am from Edo State. I'm Edo Igbo. I am 27. I'm a sneeze away from 28. But right now I'm 27. I'm clinging on to the 20s before the 30s are very close right now. But yeah, I'm 27 from Edo State. I am the Ada of the family. I'm the first daughter. I am married to Kevin. I'm married for 3 years now. Yeah. And what else? I have 4 siblings. My hobbies: I love to bake, I love to cook, I love to draw, I love to design. I love a lot of things. I'm good at a lot of things. So I'm basically a gen of a lot of trades. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I bake, I'm a fashion designer, I'm a fashion retailer, I'm a lot of things. So but yes, I'm an entrepreneur and now a YouTuber. So yeah. What else is there to know about me? I love fashion a lot. I remember growing up and having to waste everybody's time because I was trying to figure out what to wear. I've always loved fashion. Even in my uni, I remember wasting my friends' time just because I wanted to pick outfits. I'll be matching my outfits to my moods, or I'll match my outfits to the day of the week. I've always loved fashion, and so I guess one way or the other, my life was leading to what I'm doing now. I've always loved fashion. I've always loved pictures. So content creation now just came naturally to me because I've always been the go-to person to take pictures for people. So being a fashion creator just made sense or makes sense. I'm also a social media manager and virtual assistant. So if you have any gigs for me, you can just hit me up. I think that's it. That felt like a lot to talk about myself. Okay, anyway, moving on to my NYSC story stroke how I moved to Port-Harcourt City. I served in 2016. Okay, before that, I schooled in Futo. I studied geology, so that's another thing about me. I studied geology. I really loved geography and the study and the earth, everything pertaining to the earth, weather, volcanoes. I was really obsessed with it. So yeah, geology was the next best thing for me because I was really good at geography. So I just went for geology. I studied geology in Futo 5 years, BTech geology. So after Futo, I got back home and time to serve. I remember going to Saba Cafe to fill my whatever for NYSC, and my mom told me to put Abuja. Everybody wanted me to serve in Abuja, and I kind of didn't want to serve in Abuja. I was like tired of Abuja somehow, and stayed. They pushed our NYSC a lot that year. So at the time, I just wanted to go away. I don't like Lagos. The traffic life in Lagos, I don't think I can't ever deal with it. So it was either Lagos or Abuja, and I was like, oh yeah, there's Portharcourt. How about I put Portharcourt? So my mom told me to put Abuja. And I put Portharcourt as my first choice before I now put Abuja. And when I got back home, mommy, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. When I got back home, she asked me what I put. I told her I put Abuja, Portharcourt. But I put Portharcourt, Abuja. So yeah, when the call-up letter came out, I was posted to Port-Harcourt. My mom was angry and she was like, okay, there's no problem. We have someone in the NYSC office. We'll work it out and blah, blah, blah. And then the guy was like, just go to camp. and after camp would deploy you or redeploy you back to Abuja. I was like, oh, I'm so wahala. And I can't remember exactly what happened, but I know I got a call in camp. Someone came to meet me and brought some kind of form or something for me to fill, and I kept stalling, and I ended up not seeing the person. But like that day just went somehow, but I intentionally didn't want to redeploy at that time, so I made it seem like it wasn't my fault. So I didn't fill that paper, so I missed that first opportunity to redeploy. Then the next opportunity was he told me that I should get a, what did they call it, where they post you to, and in Portharcourt you have to teach. So I should get my school wherever they are posting me to, then he'll work it from there, like to redeploy back to Abuja. And I said okay, but somehow that didn't work out. So I told my parents, see, it's not my fault though, it's just Portharcourt that's happening. And my dad, and I think that was like the first time I saw my dad really mad at me. My dad was like really mad at me. He didn't understand why I was trying to like go far away from home at the moment. So, and he could tell I was the one working it in a way to not get Abuja. So it was like, for the first time in my life, my dad was like, that thing you're looking for in Portharcourt, go and find it, go. I was like, what does this mean? Say you're on your own, you want to go to Portharcourt, go. And I'm like, the fuck? What? Go where? On which own? Eh? No, please don't do this to me. But he was like, I should go. My mom was angry. Everyone was just upset with me. But somehow I felt really determined to come to Portharcourt. I didn't know what I was signing up for, but at the time I really wanted to come to Portharcourt. Okay, so I came to Portharcourt. Then the next option was, since I couldn't come to Abuja, they wanted to make sure that I was posted to like the city, not like outskirts in Portharcourt, like villages. Because another thing that my parents were really worried about was like kidnapping happening in Portharcourt. They didn't understand why I would want to be here with all the killings and the cult clash and everything that they've been hearing. They wanted to make sure I was posted to the city. That's basically like either Falga or Obiako in Portharcourt, or basically Portharcourt. But these are I think the local government names. Luckily for me, we were able to work that out, and I was posted to Obiako. They gave me a school to serve, but at the time I knew I wasn't going to teach, because a family friend of mine was trying to work out me serving in an oil company here in Portharcourt. But since all coppers in Portharcourt are supposed to teach, they wanted to do it in a way that I'll be there like a staff or an IT student, so I wouldn't be an official copper. I was supposed to go for an interview, have an interview at the company, but they're supposed to be more like a formality, because I was assured I would get the position. So it was just a formality to get into the workspace. I waited for like a week and then some days in Portharcourt, and nothing was happening. That was like after camp, and I was in Portharcourt. I didn't have my stuff, I didn't have clothes or shit like that, and I was like, let me come back to Abuja. I get my clothes, get my stuff, and then come back. And so when I get called for the interview, I'll be ready. The day I booked my flight, I was in the aircraft when I got the text message to come for the interview. I wanted to die. I cried. And they told me I should not worry when I get back, because I had to explain to them that, see, I'm literally inside the flight now to Abuja. I literally just entered the aircraft to Abuja, like we're about to take off. What do I do? I've been waiting since you guys did not give me a date. I've been calling, nothing. What do I do? Like, okay, just go and get your things and come back, we'll figure out something. They never did. I tried getting something else at a construction company. That didn't work out. So and at this point in camp, there was this company, I can't remember their name. They were giving loans to coppers. Bear in mind now that my parents said I was on my own. Since I wanted to come to Portharcourt, by all means, I'm on my own. So I didn't have the mind to like go back and beg and apologize and ask them for money to survive. I felt like I could do this shit on my own. I felt like I was prepared for this shit. I was, strong enough to do this. So I didn't want to call my dad, I didn't want to call my mom, I didn't want to apologize. So I was like, I will do this shit. So in camp, the company I just mentioned, I can't remember their name, that they're offering loans to coppers. I took let me calculate this. I took a loan of 150,000 naira, and they're supposed to be taking the part of the payment monthly from your allowance. I took money to pay my rent, so that the money I had, I already saved up from school, from my pocket money, I would use that as my upkeep while I find a job in Port-Harcourt. Because bear in mind, I already thought that I would find a job in Port-Harcourt. And the only way I could not teach was to settle the school, to pay off the school. And I did that because I thought I was going to actually get a job. So I settled I settled the school, Then I now, with my pocket money, then took loan from that company to pay my rent. So every month they were taking 10,900 from Alawi. Bear in mind, Alawi that year was 19,000 each, so I was left with 8,900. That was the worst decision I ever made in my life. Well, maybe one of the worst so far. I could have just gone back home to say, Daddy, I'm sorry. But I was so proud and sure of myself that I didn't want to go back and say sorry. I felt like when I do it, when I become something great here, when I get something awesome here, I'll come back and tell them, you see, I told you I knew what I was doing. Then, before I even finally got a place, I and my roommates, if you're watching this, you guys, I love you guys so much. I and my roommates then were searching for apartments in Port-Harcourt. Oh my days. We'll get a house, they'll say, oh, we don't want single girls to live here because they will be a shower. So we'll say, oh no, you're not Aquarian. Aquarian people are Port-Harcourt people, mostly Port-Harcourt people. So we don't want any, are you Aquarian? No, I don't want anybody that is not Aquarian to stay in my house. I don't want a single girl to stay in my house. I don't want anybody that is Igbo to stay in my house. Like there was some weird ass fucking shit. I was like, it's not just money you want. Like the whole point should be to get somebody that can pay your rent. And we are offering to pay your rent. Even one, we got to the point of paying. Then he came and said his wife doesn't want coppers to stay in their house. It's like, ha. So it's not really like maybe it was God punishing me for not wanting to, obey my parents. I got a house, a 2-bedroom flat, and I and my roommates moved in there. I was struggling. I was still looking for a job. I was depressed. I was fucking depressed. Like my roommates would go out for their own POP. One of them got the job, so she was going out to do her job. The other would go out for her POP, and I'll be at home. I would be crying. I didn't want to call my family to tell them how I was feeling. I would just be crying. And I had my cake mixer was in Abuja because I felt I wanted to go back home to get my cake mixer to start doing looking for cake jobs or start baking in Portharcourt. But at the time I didn't have like an oven in my house. It was just this student gas. So I started thinking about that. I wanted to start up my food business. There were just a lot of things, but with the money restriction, it was a problem. So I was just managing myself. I don't know. When the Bible says all things work together for our good. It felt like God was preparing me, but I didn't know what He was preparing me for that time. I just felt like I was being punished. I felt like if village people were like out to get me. Village people who have just seen me. I'm like, this one will chop on top of my head. During NYSC, I wasn't going out. I had some friends from Futo who were posted here, but with the way I was feeling, I didn't want to like mingle or associate with them. I didn't want to start getting questions. And I'm the kind of person I don't know how to ask for help. I've always had that problem all through my life. Even when people are actually offering help, I always felt like you would want something in return. And I know that what you want in return, I can't give you. So even when they offer, I didn't want to take it. So I would just keep to myself, except maybe when my roommates are having something, I would go out with them. But like for the other guys, other people I knew in Port-Harcourt that were from school, I didn't want to just associate with anyone. I was tired of everything. And I was always sleeping. So at some point, I started using my art to pass away time. I got a new sketch pad. I started painting again. I started drawing again. I started designing again. And when I was tired of that, I would just start watching YouTube videos on how to sew dresses. It was helping me kill time when my friends were at work. And so at some point, there's a lady that has, she's still there, so technically there's a lady that had a tailoring store down our street. And my roommates were also interested in fashion design, so I and one of my roommates went to meet her to ask her about her price and everything, and she told us I think it was like 30 or 35,000. Yeah, it was quite cheap, but at the time, bearing in mind that I was still paying back loan, it felt like a lot, and it made me I cried more. So my friends paid for the class and actually started the fashion design class. I just kept on watching my YouTube videos. At this point, I was really upset with my parents because I felt like they could tell that something was wrong with me. Because when we talk, I didn't go into detail. I didn't tell them what was happening with me. It would just be hello, hi. Yes, I was proud and unapologetic to tell them what I was feeling and apologize. But I felt like they should know I've never been the disobedient daughter. At least this time around, I'm trying to push boundaries and stand up for myself. They should be able to understand and support me or help out. So I was angry with them at this point. I did not even want to care anymore. I'm like, fuck it. So yeah, on this fateful day, we didn't have light, we didn't have where to charge our phones. Bear in mind that our apartment, well, before we moved in, we asked them about NEPA bill, outstanding NEPA bill, and they told us there was none. Only for, I think, a few months later, our landlord moved out with his family, and NEPA showed up one day asking us to pay bill of 400 and something thousand. And we're like, are you crazy? It's not like we have a factory here, or we have one business here. We're literally just using only bulb and fan. How do you mean that we have 400 and something? Said, okay, apparently people living there before us and everybody, they've not been paying NEPA bill. So they cut our lights, and the only way we're surviving was the generator and stuff. So on this fateful day, my sister was around, Marilyn was around. Please, she's an amazing musician. She had EPs. Awesome. You can check out Marilyn on Spotify, Apple Music, every platform. Please listen to her music. So my sister was around, Marilyn was around, my roommates were around. I got a call from my friend. It was like, let's go out and chill. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. My phone's about to die. If I'm going somewhere, it has to be somewhere I can charge my phone. He was like, yeah, his cousin stays down the street. Would I like to go there? I said yes, but if I'm going there, I'm going with my roommate and my sister. I was like, okay, no problem, let's all go. So we all, he showed up at our door and drove us like 2 seconds away from our house to somebody's gate. And he opened the gate and I was like, who is one for me, Ajebo, opening the gate? So Ajebo is like, I was already judgy. Like, you don't know that the person I was yapping in my head was going to be my husband in 2 years. There are more details in that. I'll include that in the part 2 where I'll be featuring him to actually see his own side of the story. But yeah, that's basically how I met him. And since then, it's been an amazing journey. It felt like God brought him to my life for so many reasons. He's changed me in a lot of ways, and he's actually someone that likes to poke you for information. So we got talking and he was asking me a lot of questions about what I do, what I want to do, stuff like that. And one way or the other, I didn't want to tell him, so I didn't want to come off like someone that's on the first day we were trying to talk about money. But the way he was speaking, I told him I wanted to learn how to sew, but at the time I couldn't afford it. He was like, why? I said, there's a long story where I just can't afford it now, but I will still learn how to sew down the line. And nigga actually offered to pay for my class. He came into my life. Was that, you know, those friends that will come in to like give you moral support, give you, but deep down they want you to be their person, they want you in their life. That's what it was. But yeah, I wasn't interested in a relationship with him. I was trying to actually fix the relationship I was in at that time, but it wasn't working out, and so it ended. I didn't want to date him. My friends were like, are you crazy? See how good this guy is to you, just give it a try. I'm like, I'm not ready for a relationship. I just got out of one. But I'm actually glad I did. I'm actually glad I got out of my head and decided to, you know, be with him, because it's been the best decision of my life. So basically, that's how I met Hosbe, through my NYSC wahala, through depression and everything. But it felt like God just really orchestrated the whole everything going on in my life to lead up to this moment, to that moment where we met. Because I feel like if I was serving Abuja, maybe we wouldn't have met, or if I was working, I wouldn't have had time to think of coming to charge my phone on a Thursday, because I think 27th of October was a Thursday. 27th of October 2016 was a Thursday. So I don't think I would have wanted to come and charge my phone on a Thursday in someone's house if I was going to work. So everything just worked out for my good, despite how bad it felt like it was going for me at the time. And I really do thank God for everything. So thank you so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this story time, please subscribe, comment, let me know if you want more story time videos. I have a lot of stories to tell. There will be a lot more videos where I will probably be featuring him. So please stay tuned, and I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Coming up next.
First is first, what he told me was the girls are coming over. Good girls. The girls are coming over. We're having a party.